Welcome to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Pace Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show!
Beautiful real estate wholesalers, welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 130. I am one of two other hosts. I am Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, Mr. Talk to People. We've got Pace Morby, Mr. Sub 2. And of course, we have, running a little bit late, but he will be here momentarily, Jamil Damji. Now remember, as you are growing your real estate business, it comes down to three parts: lead generation, conversion of those leads into a signed agreement, and then exit strategy. Three parts. Don't overcomplicate your real estate business. Understand that it starts, the engine of your business is lead generation. But once you have those leads, you need to know what to say to them to convert them so that they trust you, they like you, they want to do business with you. And then what do you want to do with this? Do you want to hold on to this and build your portfolio? Do you want to flip this property and do something special in the community? Or do you want to assign this deal and wholesale it to another investor and get paid big checks? Three options, three steps of that. We are on fire in the new studio here for Wholesale Hotline. Let me start with this. All right, I got a couple thoughts, and then we're going to rock and roll into this thing. The first thought is this: don't complain, contribute. Don't complain, contribute. Number two, if the challenge we face doesn't scare us, then it's probably not that important. All right, that's number two. And the third one, when we say out loud what we don't know, it increases the likelihood that someone who does know will offer help. That's the point of this whole show. Make sure that you're putting your questions in the comments section. Make sure that you're squatting up in the comments section. Make sure that you're letting us know what you have done this week to progress in your business so that we can ring the victory bell and celebrate with you. All right? We have an incredible show. We're bringing it all back. We're bringing it back down to the basics of how to wholesale real estate here over the next several weeks, and we're very excited to be able to do that. But it starts with the three steps: lead generation, conversion, and exit strategy. Pace Morby, how are you?
I love what you said there, bro. Don't complain, contribute.
That's right.
And I actually posted something on my Instagram this morning. It was very similar. It was just a thought that I organically had. I didn't steal this, but I'm sure somebody's said this 100 times. I said, the best way to criticize someone else's ideas, don't.
Right.
Instead, come to the table with a better idea.
That's it.
So instead of complaining, I see this happen all the time. People that are on teams that are like, oh, that's not going to work. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, that's like, okay, well, why don't you stop complaining and why don't you contribute? I freaking love it. I also had a DM today from a guy who said he's watched Wholesale Hotline for all 130 episodes. And today was the first day he's been able to walk in 5 years. He had a spine issue and he finally built up the strength. He finally walked, and he's like, you were the first person I messaged. I wanted to make sure you knew. I laid in bed and I watched Wholesale Hotline for all 130 episodes, or this today, I believe, is the 130th episode. And he said, I can't wait to get out there now that I can finally physically go out there and get something done. So guys, here we are in the comments.
Yes.
Let's ring the bell for that, man. Thank you for sharing that, Pace.
Yeah. I'll give you Pace. Your mic is way louder than Brent's. Well, because my mouth is basically right on this.
We're working on it here, guys. The studio
Yeah,
is literally brand new as of today, so we're working on all the things.
I just
Aaron,
turned my
let's make
mic
sure we
down a
figure
little
that
bit.
out. All right.
I just turned my mic down just a little bit. I will give you guys this gentleman's name here in just a second. I got to pull it up. I want to make sure that we say his name out here because there he is. Benny Morphus. Benny Morphus. First time standing up in over 5 years. You guys are the biggest inspiration. And it's amazing, right? Because people will find any which way they can to complain. And I love what you just said there. First rule is don't complain, contribute.
That's right. You can have a useless attitude or a useful attitude, right?
You know, it's interesting because this whole concept of complaining has been something that I've been dealing with respect to coaching and understanding from the deepest level how to reframe and how to understand that. Because again, guys, remember a lot of what we do.
Jamil, right there, just so you know, your audio sounds so good when you look at them when you're looking at the mic.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
It sounds so good.
And if I'm not, it doesn't.
Yep.
Is that right?
Okay.
Yeah,
It
just
sounds
come
like you're.
by.
It sounds like you're in a hallway.
Thank you. But what I was trying to say is when you are in this game, right, especially the level that myself, Brent, and Pace is at, what we bring to the table is experience. We bring to the table knowledge. We bring to the table our teams, all of the things that we do in this business that we get to see on a day-to-day basis, and we bring that to you in the form of digestible, relatable, and actionable information that you can take out and implement into your life. On the flip side of that, what ends up happening is that people will take a sliver, a portion, and they will try to replicate a result or try to replicate what you've been doing with just a portion of what they've taken in and actually put to work.
Yep.
And then when things don't line up or things don't work, you get the subconscious. You get the mechanism, this defense mechanism that exists in our brain. Guys, remember, the fact that you're alive right now means that your genes are so freaking good at surviving that you have no choice but to have that little monster in the back of your head that's going to keep you away from doing this business. But also know that you have within you the capacity to transcend that, the capacity to step outside of that, to get from a place of talking about problems, talk about solutions. And that's what we're trying to do here as coaches, as mentors, as people that are in this game to help guide people along the path, is to get you out of thinking about problems, to not frame a question like, hey, what are you struggling with today versus how can I add to you today?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the whole business. I mean, what we do is we go out and we have conversations, quality conversations, hopefully, with the distressed property owners in our areas. And we do hear a lot of complaining, and we do hear a lot of things going on. And solving the problems of those people is why we get paid. Well, we get paid because the people that we sell our deals to do not want to deal with the emotions of a distressed property owner. That's the absolute fact. But we can't deal with those emotions unless we control our own. Emotions are the most expensive part of our business, without a doubt. We talked about that a few weeks ago. Emotions are the most expensive part. It's not your overhead. It's not your marketing. It's not your calling. It's not these things. It's the emotions that we have because, you have a good conversation. You get a nice referral, right? You get a nice referral. I got this deal coming. They're going to send it to you, but they forgot to tell you they sent it to somebody else as well. Right? And that person locks up that deal, but you thought it was your deal. Right. And now you're like, oh my gosh, I have this great deal. And now you don't have that deal. Somebody else has the deal. And then boom, boom, emotions all the time.
All the time.
All the time. But the beautiful thing is the more people that you talk to, the more opportunities that you find, the less effect that losing out on a single deal has. I'm speaking to everybody that's just getting started because you go and in your mind, you're imagining what it's like. You're having hallucinations of what it's like to go on a really good appointment and get a really good deal. And then you actually go and do that in real life. And then something happens and maybe it doesn't go through and you're like totally crestfallen. You're totally like emotional and you're totally like, oh my gosh, I had it right there in my hands. It was exactly what I imagined, and it didn't work out. You got to do it over and over and over and over again, and you got to build the skills for this business.
I love it. Speaking of hallucinations, I think I might actually be hallucinating right now looking at this screen. This screen is like amazing.
Yeah.
Brent. Thank you.
This is just the start. This is just a warm-up.
Guys,
Yeah.
can we all just give Brent some love for upping the game here, making our studio look at least a tenth as nice as Pace's? Mm-hmm. This is incredible.
Awesome.
Love you guys. So
I'm gonna have to
Director the
redo my
man,
whole
bro.
studio, bro.
Look at this. Look, bro, I feel like I'm on. I feel like I'm on more on TV than the TV I'm actually on. Did that work?
Yeah.
Did that make
I
sense?
get it. I get it. So, guys, started out basics: lead generation, conversion, and exit strategy. Now, when we're going in with conversion, this is where you see a lot of videos from Pace Morby on YouTube having these conversations with property owners. Pace, when you're having these conversations, I see that you almost, I mean, I've never seen a video where you're arguing with any of these property owners. You're confirming, you're approving, you're not building friction into the conversation. Is that something that you do consciously? Is that subconsciously? Like, how do you make sure that all of these conversations are going so smooth when people hear the recordings of you on the phone with sellers, or they see it when it's on your YouTube channel or on Instagram or whatever else?
Leaders are readers, as you already know this. And one of the best books out there is Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah.
And one of the most classic things that applies to everyday life that I love in there is a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still.
Yep.
And so the only way that I've learned, and this is also why a lot of people will ask me, why do you have Outcast as your little poster in your studio? I've learned that the only way that I can overcome an objection that a seller has is through storytelling. And so I focus on a couple of things: rapport and telling third-party stories. And you can't do either one of those when you're fighting, arguing, trying to push people away from you. And then another one that my mom taught me. My mom taught me that you attract a lot more bees with honey than you do with vinegar.
When you talk about third-party stories, Pace, do you only have like 10 that you go to that you know really connect? Is it something that you've refined over time, or is it something that you just kind of throw out as you're on the phone with them?
You know when you're on Instagram, TikTok, one of those things, and you see a meme that just hits you hard, and you're like, "Damn, I guess everybody else deals with the same thing too."
Yep.
I come up with analogies that I know will hit hard with so many different people. So last night, for example, I've got an infinite amount. I had on Sunday service, my podcast we do every Sunday night, all about creative finance. I had Carolina Allen came through and asked me a question. She said, "Hey, Pace, I am doing direct to agent outreach, and the agent said that they would definitely be open to an offer, and it was creative finance. However, the agent said, I know that my seller is going to ask, how is my agent going to get paid?" Do you think a seller has ever cared about how their agent is going to get paid? Or is that something that an agent is saying, I'm not going to go to my seller unless you tell me how I'm going to get paid?
Yeah, 100%.
So Caroline Allen says, what do you say? And I came up with something right on the spot last night. I said, that's like me walking into a car dealership and asking what the sales tax is of a car that I haven't negotiated the price on yet.
Mm-hmm.
And the car sales guy is going to say, well, I don't know. What's our price? So I said, Carolina, here's what you do. You say, hey, this agent's name is Brittany. Hey, Brittany, as much as I've tried to figure out your commission, I'm having a hard time because I'm finding it's similar to figuring out the sales tax of a product before I actually know the price of the product. Is there any way that we can just talk to your seller about what the price of this product's going to be so that we can figure out how you can get paid? And the agent comes back in any situation like that and goes, oh, of course. So everything comes down to analogies that hit home with people, right? It's like, how do you argue that? How do you argue something that we deal with on a daily basis, no matter who you are, what age you are, no race you are? We all know what it looks like to go, well, how do I know what the sales tax is if I don't know what the candy bar is going to cost? Tell me that first, and then I can figure out the second. So I think just coming up with analogies that hit home, that are something that people absolutely cannot argue against, is one of the skills that I have.
Well, and that agent is basically asking you a question in a different way. Like, I'll give you access if you make sure that I'm cut into this deal. Right?
Always.
I mean, that's all it is.
Yep.
That's all it is. Why would I help you out if I'm not part of this thing, right? This is how I feed my family, and I've got this relationship, and I am the gatekeeper. So do you convince me that I'm going to be taken care of? That's all they're asking.
Yeah.
And that's how you answered it.
Yeah, and you do it in a polite way that doesn't have to be hostile or aggressive. And again, remind yourself that, I believe Jamil is the biggest shining example in this industry of building long-term relationships with real estate agents, and that can be fruitful, not to hundreds of thousands, but to millions of dollars. And so coming up with analogies and not being argumentative that's a human skill. That's not a real estate skill.
Absolutely. That, and knowing what the hot buttons are for real estate agents, right? It's like understanding that if you ever say the word referral fee to a realtor, it's like saying you have an ugly child. Like, truly, you want to get a realtor to like spit up their lunch?
Yeah.
Say the word referral fee to them.
Yeah.
Because immediately they're like, what? $2,500? No, thank you. Referral fee? I'm not interested. Referral fee means discount. Referral fee means 25%. Referral fee means flat rate. Referral fee means you lost.
Take a discount. You're a discount agent.
And you got to understand how to know how not to hit the hot buttons that realtors have, because they've got them. They also have the same buttons that make them want to talk to you. You want to know how to make an agent happy. You want to know how to make an agent listen, open up their ears, and actually pay attention to you.
Yeah.
You incentivize them.
How do you do that?
You say, hi, my name is Commission. What's your name?
My name is Double Commission.
Hi,
What's
Commission.
your name?
My name is Commission. How are you today, Commission?
My name is Double Sides, both sides. My name is 6% minimum.
Yeah. My name is... I'm not going to say it.
Guys, let us know if you can hear us. There's a little
You
bit
sound
of
great.
discrepancy here. Okay,
You sound great.
Okay.
As long as you guys are
Jamil's
looking at the
fine?
microphones, you sound absolutely amazing. So
Fantastic.
I have a question, because this pops up. I feel like we have to remind ourselves all the time that there are people that are brand new, not just to this world of wholesaling, but also to this world of business. And so when I say Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, I feel like that is as canon to business as the Bible is to religion. And if you guys have not read Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, that is a life book that you need to read before you leave high school. That is a book that is like an absolute necessity. Is there another foundational book that both of you guys absolutely love and adore, that somebody aspiring to become amazing at business, not just necessarily real estate, but business, what would you have them read?
Think and Grow Rich. I think Think and Grow Rich, in my opinion, is the foundational book that operates on mindset. It operates from a level of prospecting. It operates from a level of alignment and understanding incentive. Napoleon Hill, I truly believe, is the grandfather, the great-grandfather of all personal development, of all entrepreneurial pursuits. And any book that you ever read about entrepreneurship, or any book that you read about personal development, is an iteration of Napoleon Hill's original masterpiece, Think and Grow Rich. So if you really want to know where Tony Robbins, where any of these, all of them, any of these really, really incredible thought leaders in the space of personal development got their initial inspiration, it's Napoleon Hill.
It was the second business book I read. The first one was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Right.
The second one, I think he mentions it in the book, Think and Grow Rich. I think he mentions it. That's why I read it. Maybe not. I could be wrong. I really like, and it's free now, but it used to, it sold like 50 million records, but it's called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, and it's on
Ooh,
YouTube right now.
yeah.
It's The Strangest Secret. It's 30 minutes long. You listen to that every day, and you're on fire. I'm just telling you, it is absolutely incredible. And he's got this big gravelly voice, and he was Napoleon Hill's apprentice.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's absolutely incredible. And then The Go-Giver. I think The Go-Giver is the easiest book to read, and it really lets you understand that your income, whatever you want, whatever financial earned income that you want, is equal to the amount of value you provide the marketplace, you provide the community. And it took me a long time to figure that out, because I think just in my mind, maybe it's because I was a firstborn, maybe it's because my parents told me I'm like the greatest, I felt entitled that I should always win all the time. And that really like put the win is actually on the people that you serve. And when you're out there providing value, you are actually a lot more you're more fulfilled, and you really understand why we're on this planet. And it's to serve the community. It's to serve other people. So that one is absolutely incredible. It's a great kind of parable, a great story on the 5 laws of stratospheric success. And I read that every week for a year in 2016 and tripled my income. And it's just absolutely incredible.
My personal opinion is that is the correct way to read a book.
Yeah, it's not how many books, it's how many times.
Yeah, it's how
for
many
sure.
times. And what's interesting is, like, I read Rocket Fuel probably 6 times to truly understand it. I read How to Win Friends and Influence People probably 4 or 5 times. Think and Grow Rich, Jamil hammers it home all the time when we travel around the country and speak. And I was like, I need to reread that. And so I got the physical copy of it instead of the audiobook. And I walked around my block about, 100 days, and I reread the book multiple times. I had a hard time not crying in the first couple introduction chapters where he was talking about his son fixing his hearing impairment through essentially true belief, right?
Yep.
And you memorize these things. You also become a great storyteller when you can memorize other people's stories. You understand the framework, the character development, all of those types of things. So reading a book, guys, is not just about learning what's in the book. It's also learning how to frame stories and deliver a message, which is a great sales strategy and tactic. So what do you guys say?
Can I add one more to that list?
Yeah.
So there's a book called You Are a Badass by Jensen Serno, and it's one that I wouldn't say that it was the first book that I read that got me interested in entrepreneurship, but it's the book that got me off my ass.
Nice.
And so I still, anytime I have somebody DM me and say, hey, bro, send me a copy of that book, I do. Yeah. I hold copies of that book. Emily mails them out to people all the time. In fact, if anybody here would like a copy of You Are a Badass, I will buy you a copy of that book, and I will send that book to your ass because I want you to read it, and I want you to do everything. The only condition is that you have to do everything in that book. And if you don't do it, forget me. I don't want you in my life. I don't want you to have me mail you stuff and then you not take action.
I think that's fair.
Yep.
Awesome.
Couple good questions. You guys want
great questions.
Some Q&A. By the way, guys, we had a conversation at Wholesale Hotline that we are going to spend the next 20 weeks switching between Q&A and then back to a very specific topic, then back to Q&A, and then back to a very specific topic. Those specific topics will be chronological in your need to start. So next week will be how to start in wholesale real estate. What should you focus on first? And we're going to go right back to basics, especially right now with the changes in the market. A lot of people that were relying on the hedge funds to sell their deals, they're having to go back to basics.
They got to go back to Keegley.
They got to go back to Keegley.
Wee!
That's right. So we're going to get into some Q&A today. So please blow up the side chat. We've got nearly 600 people watching today. We would love to hear your questions, and we will hammer home all of the answers we possibly can. So Kristen says, Pace, where do you find off-market apartment building deals like the one out of Texas? Do you use batch leads or referrals? So she's referring to currently we have close to 150 doors that we are closing on. We just closed on 43. We closed on 30 last week, and then we've got another 80 that we're closing on as well, all in Texas, all seller finance, creative finance deals. multifamily, amazing structures with 50-year notes on them, meaning the seller is going to give us 50 years of payments to pay them off, which is awesome. So the question is, where do I find them? Guys, the same exact way you find distressed property owners in single family. You call multifamily apartment building owners that have either a lot of equity or they maybe it shows that they're a retired landlord. Excuse me. So same exact way. There is no difference. Now, there are better places to find deals. Also, you can go on market. On market is amazing. We're actually negotiating a 300 unit deal right now, seller finance. On market multifamily with seller finance is one of the easiest deals ever because those sellers are pretty savvy.
Yep.
And they understand creative finance because a lot of them used creative finance to get to where they currently are. You have a really hard time buying big multifamily deals if you don't understand seller finance. Those are really hard moving puzzle pieces. And so seller finance really comes in handy in the large multifamily space. So there's really not much different. Great question. All righty, let's jump in.
Are you getting a lot of referrals for that pace?
I've got an amazing group of students nationwide that bring an overwhelming amount of deals. I actually told one of my students today, Sandy White, I said, Sandy, please, I'm overwhelmed with all the deals you guys need to do. Don't send them to me. She's like, yeah, but you make it so easy to do deals with you. I have students just hammering the phones and cold calling and texting and doing all that kind of stuff. So referrals from my students equate to about 40% of what I put in my portfolio. So yes, a lot of them come from referrals for sure.
That'd be real tough if you just did business and you didn't go on IG and you didn't become, successful at this business and document what you did and then go out and do a bunch of live videos on YouTube, sharing what you got going on. It'd be tough to build a community like that if you weren't so loud. Is that correct?
That's correct. I mean, it's kind of like owning a Jiffy Lube. It's like you go change somebody's oil, you do a great job, they're super happy, and then they refer business to you, and you turn around and go, no, we don't accept referrals. I'm sorry. We prefer to do it the hard way, spinning signs on the corner, right? So referrals are a major step in the road. You guys need to do a deal and immediately start talking. In fact, I wouldn't even wait to do a deal. Every time you make a mistake, every time you learn something new, talk about it on social media because that is your referral network on social media.
Yeah, I wrote down here, and it was something that I wanted to get into, but we'll go into it next week when we really start the foundation of it. Well, let's get to a bunch of questions. And we have a celebration. If you don't mind scrolling up there, Pace, I don't have the pad here, but somebody closed their first deal, Matthew Justice, all the way
Come
up.
on,
a little
baby.
bit higher.
10K.
10K. He's going to get a victory bell. But what would you do? What would the experience be like for the people around you and the real estate agents and the buyers and the sellers that you work with if you could only, it would be illegal to do any other kind of marketing except for referrals? What kind of experience would you provide the people that you did business with? What kind of experience, you know what I'm saying? What kind of experience would you put out on social media? If it was totally illegal to pick up the phone and be proactive, you could not call anybody, you could not knock on a door, you could not put out bandit signs, you could not put out radio ads, you couldn't do any marketing, you couldn't do pay-per-click, you couldn't do anything. You had to grow it from building a referral. What kind of experience would you want in that process with the people that you work with? And I think that's a powerful question to ask yourself.
I know the answer.
In any business. I know you do. But in any business, this is like any business. If you really want to go from, just a return on your investment and really get a high net income, net bottom line, take home to your family, invest in assets, go on incredible experiences, do that. You got to get referrals coming in.
You do, and there's only one way to get referrals.
How?
Be fucking real.
That's right. What do you mean?
I mean, do the stuff you say you're gonna do.
Before you rant, hold on. Let's get Matthew Justice. Hey, Matthew, first of many. That first one, when you go from faith that you can do this business and you cross that bridge to it being a fact, that is a powerful day. We celebrate you. Congratulations. Sky's the limit for you, brother.
Yeah! Woo, 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 woo. Part of my language, guys, I will do my best to hold down the profanities.
What do you mean be real?
I understand there's people with children watching, and I apologize. So be friggin' real.
Yeah.
Okay, why? What do I mean by that? Okay, guys, the facts is that a lot of what is happening out there people are just trying. They're brand new. They don't know what they're doing. They're not positioning themselves. They haven't taken the time to learn how to comp.
Yep.
They haven't taken the time to learn how to have conversations appropriately. They haven't had the time to have conversations with buyers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what a property actually looks like when it's a deal.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these problems, all of these things they haven't taken the time to learn, right? And because they haven't taken the time to learn that, they're just out there being like, "Hey, give me, I'll take this. Yeah, let's put this under contract."
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden they've got this overpriced overpriced house that nobody wants.
It's not a deal.
It's unsellable now, okay? Nobody wants it, and you're going to have to go through the process of canceling and tail between the legs, and you're going to feel foolish, and you're going to feel bad because the person that you're on the other line with is going to say, "Why did you just waste my time? Like, what is wrong with you?" And I have the same question for you as well. What is wrong with you? Why aren't you taking the time to legitimize yourself? How do you become legitimate? How did I become legitimate? I closed on every single deal that I did with the realtors that I went off and talked to. Brent, the reason I became the guy in Phoenix, the reason why everyone was saying there's this guy named Jamel, he'll buy all your houses. Why were agents whispering about me to other agents? Because I performed.
Yeah.
I performed. I was the real deal. Be the real deal, guys. If you're faking it right now, don't. You can squat up with somebody.
You had something different, too, that I think is real important here.
I did. I had knowledge and I had resources.
No, you brought a lot of love to every single person that you interacted with at every RIA that you went to. This is before Keegley. 100%. This is before it went really bananas, before it was this big, huge franchise, and before Astro and all of this stuff. You were at every single meetup with stars in your eyes, smiling at everybody, hugging everybody. You had that ridiculous beard. You had the chin strap, right? You had the chin strap. You just had like basketball shorts on and slides. I mean, you weren't like over the top. You weren't doing anything. But when people talked to you, you looked them in the eyes, you listened to them, and you got their deal closed. And people remember that shit.
Yes.
People remember that shit versus, you know what the old school heads in our business here in Phoenix were like. Cold, non-communicative, they reach out, they talk to you, you don't talk to them type of thing, and you blew that all off the map and then really shook everything up. There's a big difference. You brought a lot of love. A lot of love.
I appreciate you saying that. It's true. It love, integrity. It's the things that I think the three of us bring to this business. That's the reason why we are the most feared trio in the entire space of real estate, is because we're doing things differently.
Yeah.
We're honest. We actually do the things we say we do, and we do it with love.
Yeah. And we're loud. And you got to be loud. You got to be really, really, really loud. You got to document what you do. And if you could only build your business off of referrals, what would the experience be like for everybody that you touch base with, everybody that you communicate with, everybody that you run into, everybody that's part of the deal? And you would be shocked. And Pace, do you remember how many people are involved in one real estate transaction? I remember you broke it down one time.
Yeah, it's over 52 people are involved in a real estate transaction if you add the contractors and the trades and everybody.
That's it.
Wow.
And if you go with that kind of love and that kind of respect, and you communicate and you document it and you put people on and you tell them how great they are, and you're loud, I mean, you're unstoppable. I mean, it would be a different experience if you could only build your business off a referral, which is what you did. It's just a different experience. You know, how can you provide such a great environment and experience and relationship to the people in this business? That's how you win. I mean, that's how you won. I watched it happen. Yeah, absolutely incredible. So, and Pace, listen, you were doing remodels. You were filming remodels before. You were walking around all these remodels that you were doing, and you just bled that over. And there wasn't. I remember when you started, when you joined TTP back in 2018. I mean, I think you had like what? a couple thousand, a few thousand followers, and then it just went absolutely bananas. And I'm telling you guys, it's not like Pace went to acting school. It's not like he went to Harvard. It's not like he went to somewhere where he's like all of a sudden this great, incredible performer. He's been doing it a lot every single day over and over and over and over. And you get incredible opportunities to buy properties, to work with incredible people, and get invited to talk to Tony Robbins and all these other things. I mean, it's bananas, but it all starts with being brave and going out there and one, putting in the work, two, not complaining and contributing.
You know, out of all the people that I've been able to talk to that are super cool, one of my favorite ones is Ingrid Hernandez.
Yeah.
Not much has changed, to be honest. I've always documented my journey. I always put other people on. Brent is probably one of the best people at this. Ingrid and I actually met up yesterday, filmed 3 YouTube videos at a property we are joint venturing on. And then I took her and her husband to lunch with my wife and hung out, and we just document the journey and show people. In fact, you see a lot of people in the comments. I made a joke yesterday in my Instagram stories, and I said, hey, we bought a $315,000 Chevy S10 and we got a house for free. But it was the other way around. And so you see people making funny comments in the side chat saying, hey, Ingrid, how's your S10? People see what you're doing, guys. They watch, they follow. And if you're the real deal and you want to help and you lead with value and you're not a complainer, you will attract people that want to do business with you. So Ingrid, I'd rather talk to you all day long than Tony Robbins or anybody else. You're awesome.
Hey, and Ingrid's actually going to be on a panel this month at the Keighley meetup. In fact, it's the Women Who Rock meetup. We've got Laura Morby, Ingrid, Rahima.
Love it.
Annette from Wholesale Dispo Sharks. And who else am I missing, Pace? Do you know?
Yeah, I actually looked at it today and I thought it was super amazing. I was like, holy moly, how did I not know about this? Like, I got to find out about what my wife is doing on Instagram. It's freaking unbelievable.
But yes, it's the Women Who Rock meetup, and Ingrid Hernandez is going to be blessing that stage. I think she's just an incredible person.
Lauren Black.
And Lauren Black, yes, from Keighley. So, guys, make sure that if you have not yet come to one of those events, that you absolutely do. And ladies, if you are ever thinking about traveling to Phoenix for whatever reason, I would say this would be the one reason to come, because you're going to have these badass ladies on this panel sharing how they have taken their individual businesses and catapulted them to wild success. So you want to hear about it. And maybe you can have your husband tag along and watch the kids while you're out there networking and doing the things.
Love it. Yeah, so we've got six amazing women. Laura, my wife, Monique Walker, badass. Rahima Blaza, absolute badass. Ingrid, amazing. Annette, and Lauren Black.
How cool.
Awesome.
Dude, it's epic. Super cool.
There's a good... Oh, I love it. Yep, I was looking at that one too, Pace.
Oh, this is the same one? Dang, man.
No, that's great.
So David Britt. This might be a good Jamil question. On a
David
wholesale
Britt,
deal.
David Britt asked, sorry, go ahead.
In a wholesale deal, when must you do a double close? And when you do, how do you structure and pay the closing costs, commission, etc. on the first side?
Great question, David Britt. So, when you are doing a double close, and I'm assuming what you mean by a double close is a pass-through close. That's when the funds from your B2C are closing your A to B contract. That's what I'm assuming you mean by that. So first and foremost, you're going to have 2 sets of closing costs. So your buyer on your B2C very rarely is going to want to pay your A to B closing costs. So you have to take into consideration that you, as the wholesaler, are going to incur at least 1 set of closing costs in that deal. That's going to be your A-B closing costs. Secondly, with respect to the commissions, the commission is being paid on the first contract if the agent was involved in procuring the deal. If the agent was involved in bringing the buyer, then the commission will be paid on the second contract. Now, typically, if an agent brings the buyer, they already know to add their fee on top of the price. So it shouldn't really be your situation or your problem if the agent brought the buyer. But if the agent brought you the deal, so if they were involved in helping you procure the deal, how they will get paid will be just like how they would have gotten paid in any other transaction. They're going to get paid their 3% commission from title as a commission from the seller. Okay, so it's not going to be something that you're going to be paying out of pocket. They're going to be getting paid from the seller like they would in any other standard real estate contract or any other standard real estate deal. So that structure will not change. The closing costs for the BC side will be paid by the end buyer of the BC contract. The closing costs of the AB contract will be paid by the wholesaler that's putting the whole deal together. I hope that made sense.
Okay, by the way, guys, if you look in the side comments, a lot of people asking about how can I get to the Keegley meetup? Guys, the link is in the side chat, okay? Ooh, here we go. Ingrid, speaking of Ingrid, she says, I just did my first double close in June, negotiated both closing costs to be paid. Title matters. Buy deep, y'all. Title does matter. I can tell you that 100%.
Yeah,
okay.
Your escrow officer and title company, they will make or break your deals. They will make or break your transaction coordination. They are part of your team. You might not be paying them a salary, but they are part of your team for sure. So find somebody that has a great reputation and that is an over-communicator. And typically it comes through email. Typically, escrow officers are just wild with email. They love it. They might not be calling and texting you as much, but if they're emailing you, stay on top of those emails.
Donald says, does the wholesaler have to bring cash to the deal to pay for the first closing, or can title take it from the fee in the deal, Jamil?
They will actually take it from the fees in the deal. So, no, you do not need to bring cash to the table to close the A to B. The funds from the B to C will cover the expenses from the A to B. I appreciate you putting that on the screen, Pace. Ahmed, please come into the Astro Flipping Elite Facebook group. I can't imagine all 21 of these properties that you have under contract are in the same market. If they are, then I think that you're selling a tape. And if you're selling a tape, then we might have other things to look at.
What does selling a tape mean?
A tape is a bulk deal.
Hold on. Remember, we got 100,000 plus downloads every month. The audio listeners don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Thank you, Pace. Ahmed Safar said, hey, Jamil, I've never done a deal, but someone gave me 21 properties to sell, and I need your advice, please. Amazing. So, Ahmed, 21 properties to sell, that sounds great. I would really want to take a look at what those 21 deals meant. I would comp each and every one of them to make sure that they are actually deals. A lot of times when you see these large bulk packages, they tend to be retail sellers. So those deals are overpriced or they're occupied. The seller is trying to sell for retail price for houses that are in not retail condition. And so I tend to be pretty wary of bulk deals or 21 property or 30 property packages. I'm not saying that they don't happen. I've been involved in plenty of bulk properties, bulk transactions that worked out. But Ahmed, I think we need to do some further investigation into this package of 21 houses you have. And the best way for us to do that would be offline, going to the Astro Flipping Elite Facebook group, which is only available to Astro Flipping students. I'm sorry, guys. But because, Ahmed, you are in the Astro Flipping mentorship, go to the Facebook group and the entire community will jump in and help you evaluate those deals and help you sell them if they're actual opportunities.
Also, are they his deals or is he selling those deals?
No, he said that somebody gave him 21 properties to sell. So that
means somebody else locked them up, can't sell them.
Correct.
Which, in my experience, 99% of the time, they're too high.
Yes.
And what I would do is I would find one of those properties. I'd say, what's the ugliest one out of this? I would comp it. I would see what they locked it up at versus what I comped it at and be like, you know what? I'm not going to comp all 21 of these properties because guess what you're not doing when you're comping 21 properties that are probably overpriced? You're not calling new
outreach.
leads.
Yep.
You're not doing outreach.
Yep.
You're not picking up the phone and finding these real deals. So I remember getting so excited the first package deal. It was this Bob Devers dude down. He's got his own. He's got. I'm sure you've ran into him a ton of times. But he's got a sign out. He's got like a commercial little building, and it says "Homes for Rent." And you run across him just cold calling. Everybody does, reaching out. And he had like 82 properties. He's like, I want to get rid of all of them. I want to just sail off into the sunset, get in my RV, and drive all around town. And then you start digging into it, and he doesn't want to sell any of these at a reasonable price. He wants above retail for these properties, and they're all built in the 50s, 60s. He's had them forever. They were his dad's portfolio, and so it's this whole thing, right? So just make sure that you're really, really, really qualifying the worst property. See if it's even close, and try not to get like too trapped in trying to sell somebody else's stuff. Why didn't he sell it? Why somebody locked up 21 properties? Why didn't it fly off the shelf?
I agree with this entirely. I love this conversation. I would love to talk more about it at some point, maybe even in depth, talking about portfolio deals.
Yep.
My advice on a portfolio deal is you tell the person that's sending it to you, just say, let's just start with one at a time.
Yep.
The chances of a buyer buying 21 properties all in one bulk deal is nearly impossible, because there's no way that a significantly sized buyer with the financial fortitude to buy those 21 properties has all 21 properties fit their buy box.
Yep.
It just doesn't happen. It's really, really challenging. So it's like threading a needle. Mario, I actually think I'm better at answering this question than Jamil is. Mario says, is there a way to work out payments to join Astro? I'm going to tell you something. I would never do anything in my life without getting terms. And the answer is I am an Astro flipping student. So let that answer your question for you.
Also, Mario, let me say this. In the chat, there are so many Astro flipping students that would love to help you. Let me give you some advice. Don't join the mentorship and squat up, bro.
Dimitri says, just had a $50,000 check clear in my account, going after a $100,000 deal now. I feel it so deep in every bone of my body.
Pace, ask him where he lives.
Dimitri, he has to live in...
Dimitri,
Europe?
here you go. He'll put it on here.
Dimitri, tell us where you live. He doesn't live in my guest house, does he?
He's about to wreck everybody's brain. Yeah. You'll find out. Congrats, Dimitri. Keep it going, brother.
Amazing.
That is awesome.
Okay, great. Hyru the Gate, great. Says, who wants to squat up in AZ and Cali? Thank you so much, guys. You guys should be squatting up in the comments.
He's in Belgium, guys.
Ooh,
cool.
interesting.
He lives in Belgium.
One of my students,
wow.
Mamadou, worked for the Belgium government. And he came on I did a 9-hour live yesterday on Sunday and just broke down deals that other people were doing. He also was in Belgium, and I was blown away by that. Freaking blown away by that.
You know what I love from Belgium?
Waffles.
Chocolate.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I love Belgian chocolate.
Yeah. I love Belgium wholesalers that don't have fear and go out there and just get deals from across the world. There's people in the side here that have never picked up the phone, have never had the courage to pick up the phone and make that call. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. If the challenge we face doesn't scare us, then it's probably not that important. What's more important than having control over your schedule? What's more important than building assets and building wealth and bringing that to our family? Be an example of that. It starts with picking up the phone. It starts with being proactive.
Absolutely.
It starts with calling somebody. You call it outbound, right?
Yep.
Outbound, baby.
Yep.
This business is not rocket science. There are ugly houses everywhere on the streets. Find them, talk to them, and get a big check.
Speaking of challenges, I actually have one coming around the corner here.
Love it.
It is the Secret Weapon Challenge.
Love it.
So I know that I've had these challenges in the past. I've called them the Secret Agent Challenge. This one's a little different.
Okay.
We call it the Secret Weapon Challenge because we have in our back pockets secret weapons. And for each of these problems that I'm going to help people solve, we have a secret weapon for. So I'm going to have a secret weapon for acquisitions. I have a secret weapon for dispositions. I have a secret weapon for workflow and process. And so if you guys want to be a part of that very short challenge that's going to help you with acquisitions, dispositions, workflow, and comping, it's a 4-day challenge. Emily is going to put Eventbrite in the chat. Just sign up for that. It's totally free, and you'll come out a total badass with weapons.
I love it.
And what don't we love more in America than weapons?
Guys, if you are getting value, hit that like button. It just goes and brings so many more eyeballs into the group here, so many more people to squat up with. Hit that like button. Also, guys, remember that this is only one episode of the Wholesale Hotline podcast. We do a podcast every single day. We release a podcast from Pace, Jamil, Jerry Norton, and myself. Okay? We are currently getting about 150,000 listens to a month, and I'm telling you, it is absolutely incredible. And it is not just this show like it was for years and years and years. We switched that up at the beginning of the year, and it's just going absolutely bananas. So make sure that you check that out. Make sure that you subscribe. And if you're getting value, getting a review is unbelievable. And Pace and I said we will fly out 10 people if we get to 600 reviews. Pace, yes. I think we got 60 after saying that. I think we're at 460. We're at 400. 460. We'll fly out 10 people.
More?
We'll put you out. We'll put you in this.
Wait,
studio.
make that 15 people. I'm gonna throw 5 in there too.
5 in.
So we're gonna fly out 15 people to Phoenix, Arizona, if we can get to how many reviews?
600.
600 reviews, guys. 600. We have 606 people right now across the different platforms watching, and we don't even have that many reviews. How is that?
How is that?
Can I get you guys to ring the bell for me for a second?
Please.
Yeah.
I ring the bell for
Or
you
after you tell us.
all the time in my head.
Hey,
but tell us.
Let me show you something. I got something cool. Okay.
All right.
I and my investors just closed on our 408 unit deal.
Hey.
Wow.
We are flying out to to Charlotte tomorrow. And we are all meeting up together at the property, hanging out. And I just wanted to highlight these investors. My graphic designer drew them all by hand and wanted to give them some love. So if you guys don't mind ringing the bell for that.
Amazing. How many investors did you pull together for that deal, Pace?
I ended up pulling together about 20 investors for that deal. It's a $109 million acquisition.
Wow.
109 is my first $100 million deal in my portfolio.
Wow,
super excited and grateful for it. I also have another one. I did this one on purpose. And after Brent Daniels sent me a sub 2 deal the other day, I was kind of regretful that I didn't do his deal instead. But I have a deal that I just closed on like 2 minutes ago. Okay. So I'm going to have you guys ring the bell for me one more time. This is a deal. Here's the HUD, final settlement statement, bada bing, bada boom. I just closed on this at 2:57 p.m. It's a sub 2 deal. And it is the worst deal I've ever bought in my life.
Okay, why?
Because I want to show people, now I'm in a different phase of my business, I can buy property and hold on to it. And I want to show people through documenting that you don't wait to buy real estate. You buy real estate and you wait. And thank you. It is a cash flowing deal. So I'm not losing money on the deal, but it took a lot of cash. It took some investors and all that kind of stuff. And I could have allocated my money to a different deal. Like for example, Brent Daniels' team sent me a sub 2 deal the other day that I could have literally bought 4 of those deals with the same money that it took to buy this deal. And I had a student that actually got this under contract and he goes, this is an impossible deal. I can't figure it out. There was an agent involved. It's like, I don't understand this. I said, I'm going to make this my personal mission to get this deal done. And when I looked at the cash requirement to get the deal done, yes, it's going to cash flow. Yes, I'm going to make a lot of money. I wanted to go through and I wanted to bring a real estate agent on Wholesale Hotline in 30 days and have her talk about her experience of going through and doing a sub 2 transaction for her first time. I want her to hear how she listens to wholesalers call her all the time and her perspective from the other side. And so I thought it would be good to have Jamil really spend time interviewing this real estate agent because he's the real estate agent master. And I really wanted to get that done and bring that to the table. So worst deal I've ever done. Yeah, of course. It'll be a lot of fun.
Can we give some love to Ryan, the 18-year-old Ryan Seats, a little bit further up there, Pace?
Ryan Seacrest?
Just locked up his first deal, Ryan Seacrest. There you go. In Indianapolis, and he lives in Michigan. Now, Ryan, I'm going to give you a half a ring. It'll be a full ring, but it'll feel like half a ring until you get that deal sold.
Hold on, I gotta help him right now. Ryan, in the chat right now is my assistant, Emily. Emily's husband, Greg, is crushing deals in Indianapolis right now and can move that sucker for you in a heartbeat. Emily, get Greg's number in the chat. Connect these two so Brent can ring that bell.
You know I love ringing this bell.
Put that number in the chat.
Not too crazy, Ryan. Not too crazy yet. 18 years old.
Call Greg Put Greg Santana's phone number on. He's also very handsome, but he's very taken. So no beautiful ladies call him.
This is how you
That's
sell
the man.
your deals.
Greg Santana will sell your deals in Indianapolis, guys. Any of you guys doing deals in Indianapolis, call that man. He's got a sexy beard and an even nicer ass.
There you go. That's
I would agree with that.
That's called a double.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Double trouble. There you go. There we go. Congratulations. Keep it going. I want to hear some more success.
We had Hader and Anna just did a $10,000 deal on agent outreach.
Who did?
Hader and Anna. They're astro flipping students that have been.
Where are they
actually they were at the Clever Summit. Mm-hmm. They're members of the Avengers Mastermind. They've been trying so freaking hard to make it happen. They've been consistent. They've been staying at it. And Hader and Anna finally closed the deal. 10,000 smackaroos. Yeah, Raphael. Nice job, bro.
He's doing great. He's one of my students. Him and his wife are knocking it out of the park. They've been locking up rentals and getting a bunch of stuff done. He's doing a great job following Brent's advice and getting loud on social media. He's talking about it, guys. Follow him on Instagram. He's amazing.
Do you mind if I tell you about a training I'm doing?
Please tell us about your training
I am doing a training with Todd Toback on novations. Novations. What do you know about novations? It's going to be absolutely bananas. It is, I think, a tool in the toolbox going into this market that is going to be absolutely incredible. Todd's been doing them for like 15 years, and he's going to step us all the way through. So we're really going to push this, guys. I need your guys' help.
What's a novation?
I need you guys' help. It's basically wholetailing without owning the property.
Got it. So
it's a net listing, essentially.
A net listing,
you know
guys.
What I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, in fact,
Pace, you know what I'm talking about?
He sure does. I learned about innovation.
I've got 4 in the pipeline right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
It's going to be absolutely incredible.
You, bro?
I would love all the Astro, all the Sub 2. I know, Pace, you got training on it, so that's up to you, but I would love for your guys' support.
Hey, Astro fam, make sure you guys get involved in this. And anything that Pace and Brent do, you guys know I 1,000,000% co-sign, get behind, and absolutely love. These two are the smartest dudes I know. So please, if you want to learn about novations.
I'll have a link next week, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. Yep.
Beautiful. And hey, guys, we've seen only 50 of you guys join the secret weapon challenge. Is it because it was a bad weapon joke? I'm sorry.
No, I already know what
it is.
We got to make sure your team
next
fixes
week.
Your link. Hey,
what
Jamil.
Day?
Yes, sir.
Tell your team this. Go to GoDaddy, buy a domain that says thesecretweaponchallenge.com, and that is the link going forward. And they should forward that to the link. Then that way you don't have to tell people to click in the side chat. You don't have to hope people are going to copy and paste. You just tell them go to thesecretweaponchallenge.com.
Thank you, Pace.
Or you could come up with a domain name that Jamil does badasschallenges.com and you use that
I still own backdoorsopen.com. I've never figured out what to do with it, but maybe that's it.
Now you know.
When did you buy it?
You want to hear the story?
Yeah.
So when we were first starting Keegly, for and Pace will attest to this. When Josiah, my business partner,
Yeah.
when it's like when you're playing tennis with him and it's like you're going back and forth on stuff, you can go forever.
Right.
Right, Pace? We've been going forever on our title company. It can go forever because he's a very intellectual guy. He comes up with all the things, and so we just couldn't agree on a name.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I was like, guys, if we don't name this company by the end of the weekend, I bought the
Which
domain.
company?
We didn't have a name yet.
Right.
I'd thrown out like, I don't know, 30, 40 different things. And everyone was no. And I said, okay, here's what it is. We have to give ourselves a deadline. By Monday, if we don't have a name, we're called backdoorsopen.com.
Perfect.
And by Sunday, we were Keegley.
Boom.
Is
So
that
you
how we
force
need
the
to
hand
get
of,
Josiah to move forward on the title
intellectual.
company stuff?
Pardon me?
Is that how we got to get him to move forward on the title company stuff?
Yeah, we got to call it backdoor title.
I love that. I actually I wouldn't mind that.
Backdoor title?
Yeah, why not?
It's memorable.
Kim Young says, "Hey guys, I want to recommend, or I want to thank Brent for recommending The Strangest Secret."
Yeah.
What is that book about again?
It's a 30-minute audio. You could get it on YouTube. You could watch it every single day, listen to it, whatever it is. But it used to be a record. It sold the most. It was like 50 million records sold. And it's a mindset. It's for mindset Pace. It's understanding that we become what we think about, right? We become what we obsess about. We become, and how to take action on those things so that we can achieve the goals that we have, right? And so the strangest secret is that you become what you think about. And it depends on who's surrounding you, what your environment's like, the actions that you take all day, and the confidence that you have as you build new skills. It's incredible.
Scott Levine says, "Could you guys touch on selling wrapped notes in one of your shows?" I've done that 3 times on Sunday service. So I would go into YouTube and type Pace Morby selling notes on YouTube, and that will pop up. I've spent a lot of time. In fact, guys, I go live probably 12 hours a week on YouTube. Yesterday I did 9 hours straight. And for an hour and a half of that, I talked specifically about selling a wrapped note. So definitely go check that stuff out. A lot of creative finance stuff on my channel, so we don't clog up Wholesale Hotline with talking about selling wrapped notes.
Why does anyone even have a Netflix subscription when you could have Pace's YouTube in your life and literally, like truly just have it running all day with more content than you could ever possibly be able to consume? And not just like content. I'm talking life-changing stuff, like tools, tricks, gems, strategies that could absolutely change your life. Why are all of you not subscribed to all of our YouTube channels for that matter? What's the matter with you guys? How come we only have so many likes and we have near 700 eyeballs on today's show? How come there's only 100 registrations when there's 700 people on today's show?
You got 100 already?
Yeah. How come there's only 430 reviews when there's 700 people on today's show? Interesting questions, right?
Here's an interesting question. Michael must be new, which is great. Welcome. Well, how do I know Michael's new?
Because he doesn't know there's a Keegley in Atlanta.
Atlanta is a city we talk about all the time. We love Atlanta. Jamil and I are actually going to be in Atlanta on August 16th for a mastermind. We're going to be having dinner with Big Boy from Outkast. That's going to be Big Boy. Oh my gosh, where was that? Was that in Orlando?
You want to know that story?
Yeah.
Should I tell that story?
Yeah, why not?
So Pace and I are leaving Orlando. We were leaving Orlando, right?
We were with my wife and my kids, and my wife flew home, and we had like half a day left in Orlando before we departed south.
Right. So when that happens sometimes, and Pace and I have like nothing to do, he's like he'll be like, oh yeah, let's go get a massage.
Yeah.
So great, we go, and we're married men, we're good men, right? So like we go to like the right spot, right?
Yeah.
We end up going to this place, and I'm laying on the table, and the massage therapist just comes in and smacks my ass and says, "Oh, big boy, I like it." And I was like, "Oh my God, what is gonna happen right now?"
Yeah.
But it was a totally normal massage. Like
Normal massage.
there was no
She
weirdness.
got you good, though.
She
got you
the
good.
whole time. The
was
entire 60 minutes, I was sweating
Not relaxed.
because I was like, "How do I tell this lady I'm not interested?"
Big boy.
Big boy.
I like that.
Anyways,
You should tell him that story. He'll love it. At dinner.
I told
in
my
a
wife
week.
that story, and
In
she
a week.
laughed her butt off, bro.
Yeah.
Here's a good
Andrew,
question. So I created an avatar series because I really dissected the individual. We have nearly 700 people watching live right now. And I can tell you, not one person in here is even remotely close to another person. In fact, I find that there's about 19, there's very specifically 19 different buckets that investors fit in when they first start. Okay. And I call those avatars. So one of those avatars is a direct to seller avatar, somebody like me who prefers talking to sellers over talking to agents. Does it mean I don't work with agents? No, it just means I started by talking to sellers. So Andrew is saying, I'm a direct to seller avatar looking to add value to everyone. If you don't have time to do outreach, send me the list. So guys, this is what you should be doing in the comments. You guys should be talking about what you are lacking, what you are not lacking. Somebody like Andrew says, hey, I'll call sellers for you. Send me the list. Let's freaking go. I want to see more of this going on in the side chat. You guys should be squadding up. Okay.
Yep.
People are really loving your question, by the way.
Let's throw it up for Daryl Arias, who just made $60,000 on a deal that he did with Keegley in Florida. He wants us to ring that bell for him.
Is he in here?
60K, yeah,
Did he post
60K
it?
assignment. He sure
Here we
did.
go. Daryl. Is it Daryl?
Daryl.
Come on.
Come on, baby. Well done, baby.
So how much?
$60,000.
6-0.
60K.
Dude,
with
you can't make
Keegley.
money in this market.
Oh, hell no.
It's too tough.
No way. It's
Smaller
a recession.
deals.
There's a recession. Nobody's buying.
The market's crashing.
Yeah.
Interest
Okay.
rates are going to be 17% by the end of the year.
Wholesale's dead.
It's all dead.
I've got a question for you guys.
$60,000.
Michelle Rice says, I'm on all your subscriptions. All I watch is you guys. Okay, I've got a question for everybody in the side chat. For everybody that watches our YouTube, please give us some criticism right now in the side chat. What would you like to see more of Jamil, more of on Brent, and more of on me? What could we do better? Do I talk stupidly? Do I say bad things? Do I offend you? Do you hate my videographer? Tell me what you don't like, and I'll fix it. I want to make sure that we're providing value to all of you guys. Jason.
I did get a message from somebody who said, Jamilo, I need you to swear less.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying, guys.
I got in trouble for posting a photo of my wife in a bikini about 2 weeks ago on my Instagram story.
Please never stop doing that.
He says, I'm so disappointed in you. I follow you and refer you to my friends, and those friends are married. And if their wives see, and I'm like, you know what? That's a really good point. I unfortunately got to change some of the way I live my life. I'm not as prude as some people are, and that's not a negative thing. It just means I got to adapt. So that's unfortunate that I've been a bad boy, but I'll be better. Jason says, who's in East Mesa? Bro, I'm literally 2 miles from Sossaman in the 60.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? You want to come over to the house and hang out? You want to be a guest on Wholesale Hotline? Get your ass over here. Let's go.
Garrett, I cannot grow a beard.
Really?
Yeah. There's no way. There is no way. Listen, you see my face right now?
Yeah.
I shaved a month ago.
No. No, when is the last time you shaved?
Last night. Yeah, but I literally cannot grow a beard. There's no chance. It is so bad.
Really?
Oh, so bad.
Oh man, I want to just watch you grow a beard now. Like who wants to see oh, Angel, I want straight out of Compton back too, but I received communication from YouTube about it because they don't like the publication of addresses on live streams.
Yeah.
And I was risking having my entire YouTube channel shut down for doing it. And so right now I'm trying to work out a way to bring Straight Outta Compton back. And I'm probably going to have to do it via private Zoom. And so stay tuned. My team is putting that together. Straight Outta Compton is not gone. It's just being reimagined.
That's an interesting thing. Is it something that you can do on a Zoom and then post later, or is it a live stream they don't like?
They don't like addresses at all. They don't want any addresses on your YouTube, and they literally said that if I did it again, they would shut my account down.
Here's a good one. Christy Baxter, this is great feedback. We will not only take this in consideration, but we will be better. Christy says, I have kids with me every time I'm able to watch this. I can't have my 2-year-old learning swear words.
Yes.
And I apologize for that.
So do I, Christy. We'll do better.
We will do better. Thank you. And if you have a podcast, I will leave you a review because I trust that you've left us a review. Okay?
And
Okay,
I just want to preface that my profanity comes from my passion. I'm so passionate about this business that sometimes that passion just finds its expression in words that I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to, say something that's going to be hard on your kids to hear or hard on you to hear. And there's a lot of folks that I am actually really good friends with people that when I swear, I can see them physically winch, And I don't want that. I don't want that for anybody, right? I will make a conscious effort to do better with the swear words. I'm sorry. I just don't want to do that. I get that some of you like it, but I want to be available to everybody.
Right. Andrew says, I'd appreciate more streamlined, directed conversations. Often the bouncing around with topics can be challenging to follow, particularly for newer students. Now, I'm sure you'll say, fine, Andy, get out. And that's exactly what I'm going to say. Andy, get out. Just kidding. Andy, we talked about this earlier. The challenge is sometimes I'm going to teach you. Can I teach you guys all something? There's 670 plus people in here. I'm going to teach you guys something. You guys show up late. We start the show at 5 o'clock. And what we've learned is if we start the topic before 5:30, what happens is you guys show up 30, 40 minutes late and you ask questions like, what are we talking about? You ask a question about something we covered in the first 5 minutes. So unfortunately, the audience has trained us to slowly build up the momentum in the very beginning of the show and talk about other things, kind of bounce around a little bit, talk about mindset so that we can let people trickle in so that we can then deliver a topic. So that being said, one, please show up on time. I know not everybody can. I understand why. But please show up on time. It will help us out as live audience deliverers. The second thing is, if you go back to January 2021, you will find that at that time, we went about 20 episodes straight in a chronological order, like where to start, what to do next, what to do next. And we followed that line of a chronological delivery of very succinct and streamlined, directed conversations in order.
Yeah.
The other thing that we've learned is that nobody likes to go back and watch previous episodes. So although we've already talked about these things, we have learned that unfortunately people want to watch the lives. It's good. We love it. We enjoy doing it. So that's the second thing. The third thing and final thing is that I want you to know that we feel that too. And so starting next week and every other week going forward, we will follow a succinct, streamlined, directed conversation schedule. Next week's episode will be called How to Start in Wholesale. We will then, the following week, go back to Q&A, talk about whatever we want to talk about, answer questions in the side chat about sporadic, off-the-wall things, maybe talk about my wife's bikinis and whatnot. And then the following week, we will follow the second episode. In fact, I have the episodes. If you guys want to see them, I will tell you guys what the episodes of Wholesale Hotline are going to be. Can I tell you the first couple at least?
Hit him with that. Hit him with that, Pace.
Okay, so here are the first episodes. Number one, this is next week. Where should I start? Then we're going to go back to Q&A. Then we're going to come back to the second episode in order, which is how to JV with other people in Wholesale Hotline. And we will be giving you guys away JV paperwork that cost us about $1,500 from an attorney. We will be giving that to you, okay? Then we will go back to Q&A. Then we will go back to a specific topic, and that topic is called, what are the top tools that I will need when I start? Not once I'm scaled, not once I'm making a ton of money, but what are the top tools I will need from the very beginning, okay? And then, again, we will go back to Q&A. And I have 10 of these, but I'm only going to go through the first 4. So the last one I'm going to tell you is number 4 is lead generation in today's market. How do I generate leads in today's market? So that's what we're going to be talking about over the next 8 weeks. So I appreciate the feedback, Andy. Now you can get out.
Andy, get out of here. No, and remember, Andy, like I think if this was too polished, you'd understand that we aren't doing real business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if we had all the time to practice and rehearse and like get this all like choreographed, that would be very telling that we probably aren't doing a tremendous amount of real business out there with real buyers and real sellers. So there's a little bit of that mixed in there. We've done 130 shows. And, sometimes it's off the rails and sometimes it's not. I think, the feedback that we get, at least from people that reach out and DM me, is, not every show is the same, and that's what keeps them coming back and back and back and back and getting a lot of value out of that. So I think there's some to that. But you're absolutely right, Andy. We could do a better job of staying focused on helping answer questions about wholesaling real estate, finding ugly houses, and getting big checks, for sure.
Okay,
and
this
we'll
is
work
great.
on it, brother.
I like this one right here. Mark B says, I've tried to squat up with a couple of sub 2 students and they only want me to bring deals to them. I get that, just money, no knowledge. I'm not quite sure what that last part means, but I'm curious. When you're brand new and a lot of the information that we have is free outside online, do you guys think that everybody else should be educating everybody else in this industry? Or do you feel like some people should at least start generating some leads and taking some action so they can actually squat up with people? I don't have an opinion either way. I'm just curious, what are your guys' thoughts?
There's practitioners and there's theorists. You know what I mean? There's people that understand the theory. There's other people that go out and do it. And in my experience, the dumbest people make the most money in this business because they don't let the education loop stop them from going out and serving the community.
That's so smart. Also, here's the thing, right? The gentleman who wrote that comment, I totally appreciate the thought there that somebody should stop and educate you. But here's the thing. Those people are out there actually working, doing business, doing deals. And they're basically saying to you, here's how we can work together. Here's how we can squat up. Because I'm very actively pursuing my business pursuits. The way that you and I could get into the minutia of me helping you understand a deal would for you to bring a lead to the table. Right? Bring an address to the table. Bring an opportunity to the table. And brother or sister, whoever it was that wrote that, you can find opportunities. I mean, look, the entire concept of Wholesale Hotline is to teach you how to find opportunities. You can go to any one of our YouTube pages, whether it's mine, Brent's, Pace's, and we've got a plethora of videos out there that teach you lead gen. You can learn about driving for dollars. You could learn about cold calling. You could learn about agent outreach. You could learn about wholesaler outreach. You could learn about turning your dead leads into creative finance leads. You could learn about how to create a novation deal. There's so many different ways that you could do lead gen that truly, I think that if that's stopping you, then you need to take one more step forward. That's just my opinion. Take one more step towards action, and then you will find that you'll get met with the help that you're looking for.
Yep.
Yeah, this is an interesting thing. So Peggy Stevens says, I'm a newbie in sub 2. I'm 8 weeks into sub 2. I was 4 years in Fortune Builders, and I love this family. So many people have bent over backwards to help me. Okay, so there's another thing that was really interesting. And Brent, I don't know if you mind me calling you out on this.
Go for it.
It's one of the most impactful things you ever taught me. I'm not calling you out. I'm just reminding everybody of a story that happened. In fact, the Prius that I'm giving away this week, I'm giving away my Prius. It's a 2018 Prius. I have gone on officially 250 buy appointments in that Prius. And I said, you know what? Somebody else needs the magic sauce. So I'm going to give away this. It's about a $15,000 car. I'm just going to give it away this week. I was driving around, this is 4 years ago, in my Prius, taking people on Saturdays and Sundays, going out of my way, helping people who were not taking action, trying to do everything I desperately could to get people to learn this business. I didn't have a YouTube channel. I never thought I would ever be a coach. I was just slanging deals and taking action myself. And I thought, If people would just be around me, they would magically just take action. And Brent Daniels calls me up one day and he goes, "What are you, crazy? What are you doing, man?" And I go, "I'm trying to help people." And he said, "Pace, people pay attention to what they pay for, whether it's $1, whether it's $100, whether it's $1,000, etc." And so what typically happens, guys, is when people see others investing in themselves, it creates a culture of other people that go, "You're dead serious about this. And I'm dead serious about this too." So here's what I would do, guys. If you are brand new, make sure that when you're watching the free content and you're in the free Facebook groups, you don't just sit there and consume content and think that somebody's going to come in and just grab you by the hand and help you. You need to show other professionals that you have invested in yourself. And if you don't have the money to do it through a mentorship, you don't have the money to do it through an ebook or a seminar, I get that. The way to invest in yourself is to go out and take action based on the things you learn for free, and then bring the worst opportunity to me. But don't come to me and say, "Can you teach me how to comp a house?" Well, what house? Well, I don't know. I just need you to teach me a comp a house. Okay, wow, I don't even know where to start in that situation. So please, if you are one of those people, guys, take some action, make some mistakes, and then bring those things to people to squat up. It's really hard to squat up and say, "I'm new, please call me," and then spend an hour on the phone with somebody who's literally never picked up a phone, knocked a door, sent a postcard, done a sticky note, called an agent, done anything to generate any business. So it's hard for an action taker to stop and invest their time in somebody who hasn't taken action yet.
Yep.
I've got one more thing I'd like to say before the hotline ends tonight. I have updated my how to comp video. So you guys know one of my most successful videos that I did on YouTube was teaching people how to comp. I got together with Bigger Pockets, and Bigger Pockets said, "Look, we heard you're the guy for comping, and we want you to make us the best comping video ever." So if you guys want to see the second version of the best comping video ever, it was released today on the Bigger Pockets channel.
Get out there.
The YouTube link is in the chat right now, and here's what I'm going to say. There's 650 of you watching right now. If all 650 of you go and leave me a comment, guys, just don't leave me a comment. Watch the whole video, please, because if you just go for 30 seconds and leave a comment, it doesn't help the algorithm. Watch the whole video and leave me a comment. I'm going to select one person from the chat, and I'm going to give you $500 cash. I'm just going to zell it to you. $500. $500. Go leave me a comment, and just how I'll know you're from Wholesale Hotline is just write "Hotline Viewer" in the comment
or squat up.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Pace. You know, some people could go out there and they can put it all together and they can do this by themselves. I've never seen anybody go fast that way. You know what I mean? Like the people that move the fastest, and speed matters in this business because you can get very distracted very easily by a lot of different things just in life. And if you can get to a result faster, that's the point of investing in a program, investing in coaching, investing in a community, investing in all those things. Is you're not doing it by yourself. You're not doing it by yourself. You're cutting to the front of the line. So I always invest. That's the biggest investment that I make on a yearly basis from a business standpoint is in myself.
You know what's
100%.
interesting? What's interesting too is that
Not
our
ashamed to say
communities, a TTP student invests in TTP, and then they meet up with a sub-2 student, and they know that person's invested in their business, and so they know that they're serious, like Pesa just said, right?
That's it.
But like, look at Ingrid today. She just mentioned that she just bought a deal in Tucson from Matthew Justice, who's an astro flipping, right? That's a sub-2 student and an astro student getting together and doing a deal.
Yeah.
Now, these two people meet in the chat of Wholesale Hotline, and they resonate with each other because each of them know each other to have invested in their business. So not only does being a part of a community precede you, it also connects you.
Yep.
Get that $500, guys. Go
It's a lot easier. A lot easier. Yeah, wholesale that sub-2 today pays for $15K. $15,000, smooth little deal. Somebody bought it last year, 3.5% interest rate.
It's a good deal.
And
Pacer bought it for $15K?
no.
Can I
Pace was
tell
too
you?
distracted
can I tell
by
you-
doing like a $100 million deal, not a
No, bro,
$15,000 deal.
I actually really
Oh.
wanted the deal.
But-
I wanted the deal, and I told Jeremy, I said, "Give me 15 minutes, and I'll look at the deal." I go, "I like it," and I didn't reply after 15 minutes. He sold it to somebody else, and I deserve that. It's my fault. He should have sold it, and that means you've got a great team. I have to commend you.
Yeah.
Your team's like, "We're not waiting on you. We know you want these deals." I said, I literally, if I pull up the text message, I go, "Ooh, I like this. Can you give me some time to get in front of a computer and look at it?" He goes, "Yes." And then next thing you know, he sold it to somebody else because he should have.
Yeah.
If you don't reply, then you die. That's it.
Hey, that's a good one. You don't reply, you die.
Yeah.
Time kills all deals.
Yes. Okay. Ooh, this one's good. Dan says, Pace, you've mentioned a guy who did a seller finance deal, was filmed by a TV crew. He went to a hotel, started with no money, blah, blah, blah. Would love to see you do that. I am doing that. Dan, where have you been, brother? I do this frequently. Do it frequently. But I am doing that in October. I will talk about that sometime in September. It's too early to start talking about it. I'm moving to Tacoma, Washington to do that specifically for a month. So I will not be talking about it because it's just too preemptive. It's too early. There's no reason for us to do that. You guys want to say hi to Cody Sperber real quick?
Sure.
Heck yeah.
Hey, there he is.
What up?
Look at surprise guest at the end of Wholesale Hotline.
Oh,
Here, come
you
on,
guys
come
are
on
up
here.
to no good. I can tell.
We're wrapping
already.
up in 3 minutes, so come on board. Come on board.
You guys are up
I bought
to
the chair
no
because you were
good.
freaking complaining.
Last time I cried about the chair, and now I got this fancy chair, man.
That's what
This
happens.
is amazing.
That's why you got to stand. No chairs.
What up, Spurbs?
What's up, man?
What's up, fellas?
He's too. Look at him. He's too buff. He doesn't even fit on the freaking screen, dude.
So
That's a handsome guy. What are you guys doing over there?
yeah.
If I just rip my shirt off right now, will your viewership go up or
Pop
down?
it off. Pop
I
that
know
bad
it's
boy
gonna
off.
be good.
Tear it up, baby.
We have a
Give us
lot of gay
give us
audience,
an
so it'll go
example
up.
of what real nipples look like, Cody.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Maybe do you guys have a tip jar on this thing? Can you guys send some Bitcoin or something?
Sperber,
I'm motivated.
Sperber and I are doing a couple things, and actually in 3 minutes we're going to be doing a Zoom. I'll put the Zoom chat in the side chat. Hi, Carly Grunman. Did you accidentally come on the screen?
What's up, girl?
Oh, hey. Oh,
Carly's amazing.
she was laying in her bed there. Nice to see you, Carly.
She's amazing. So guys, in the side chat,
So
Sperber
good.
and I are doing a Zoom here in just a minute. We're calling it the real estate reality check, and we're going to go through some analytical data and some fun stuff here in just a couple of minutes. But we're also talking about our upcoming week where Jamil, Sperber, myself, Steve Harward are flying out to do something with Grant Cardone, I think.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out, eat eye candy, fly around in this chopper.
That is true. You are. Did you sign the release? Are you flying the chopper?
No.
I'm flying in
You know,
chopper.
I'm not. I get a little motion sick. I'll take.
Yeah, I'm not into that, dude.
Okay.
Nope.
I can't carry you.
I deleted that email as soon as it came in. I was like, yep, nope, not going in a chopper.
Yeah, it's not like you could like have a nice conversation in there, right? It's so loud.
No,
you
yeah,
gotta read the whole
they're
thing and-
terrible. Pace took me up in a tin can over the Grand Canyon, and I was literally gonna lose my lunch. Like,
Yeah.
what the frick are we doing
No,
here?
no. That's awesome. So what are you guys doing like a live right now, Cody?
Yeah, we're gonna go live. We actually got to go live in 2 minutes, but yeah, it's a little market update.
Asking for the link
A little showing love for everybody that we were promoting the Time to Thrive Challenge to. Just showing
Awesome.
some love for all the crazy emails that we spammed them with, and just trying to serve back and help people move forward. Kind of like what you guys were doing, but maybe a little bit
Amazing.
more market stat.
Amazing. Awesome.
Guys, stay tuned for Cody and Pace, the reality check Zoom that they're about to do. Guys, make sure that you guys are hanging in there. And again, we just put the link up for the secret weapon challenge where I'm going to give you a secret weapon for your acquisitions, your dispositions, your comping, and your workflow in 4 punchy days. It's so packed full of meat. It's bigger than Brent Daniels' bicep. It's so fluffy. It's fluffier than Cody Sperber's nipple. It is so tight.
Yeah,
It is so tight.
Jamil,
It's
I
pointier than Pace's fingers.
that's right.
want secret weapons.
The Secret Agent Challenge, baby. Let's go.
Awesome. That's it, guys. Thank you for joining us for episode 130 of Wholesale Hotline. We love you guys. Make sure that on Wednesday, 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, join me for the Ugly Houses Big Checks show. We're going to do a fantastic show for you Wednesday. Pace, when is your Sunday service? Let them know.
Sunday service every Sunday. I'm actually going to start over Sunday service on this coming Sunday to talk about how to get your first sub-2 deal in 52 weeks. I'm going to give little homework every single week, and then we're going to elevate it and elevate it and elevate it. We're just going to keep it super simple so people can go back and go, I'm going to watch episode 1 of how to get my first sub-2 deal.
Amazing.
Awesome.
All right,
guys.
Love you guys.
See you next week.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.